Hey kids, you're listening to a couple of annoyed grunt boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast. That's right, we're the Simpsons podcast that discusses the animated series The Simpsons from seasons 11 and beyond and the newest episodes when they air. Why do we do it this way? Well, plenty of other podcasts have discussed the Golden Age episodes, that being seasons 1 through 10. So we're out here in the internet land trying to discover if any episodes from the latter seasons can match those Golden Age episodes. I don't do this alone. I'm just one annoyed grunt boy named Craig. With me, as always, is the other annoyed grunt boy,
Steve.
Hello, Steve. How are we doing this week? I think I know, and it's because you pulled so many boners.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed by all the boners that I pulled.
No, I'm also embarrassed because last week in our introduction we talked about how Alice Cooper wants to do a voice on The Simpsons and hasn't, and we were just talking about some other musicians that haven't voiced yet, and you brought up the lovely Dolly Parton. And unfortunately, Steve, we are a couple of idiots because she was on an episode because Timothy pointed out she had redone the voice.
It was prior to season 10, so we wouldn't know about it, or season 11 rather. But of course, yeah, she was in the Super Bowl episode, and she was great. And so, thank you, Timothy, for your keen ear and Simpsons knowledge. And I forget. Oh, and I'm sorry. There's a cat. There's a cat meowing.
Why is there a cat, Steve?
Well, you see, we have, in the Annoyed Grunt Boy studio, at least Grunt Boy Studio South, as I like to call it, we have two audio engineers that are cats, Milo and Rudy, and they take their dinner break about the time we tape our intro. And because we've started to feed them wet food, they become very demanding. So around this time of day, they really want food, and they don't shut up. Because I am strapped into recording land, it's hard for me to get up, and I don't want to, disappoint the listeners by not being around. So, yeah, that's why there was a lot of meowing on the last week's intro, and so, again, I apologize for that blunder.
Well, it's weird when we talk, I don't hear the cats through our telephones. That's how we talk. We're on our beds. On our stomach and my legs are up, and I got my phone and my George Michael posters over my bed. And
flipping through the latest issue of Teen Vogue.
Yeah, and talking about how we're probably going to go to the Galleria after our record, and there's a new Debbie Gibson album out that we got to get.
And we can go over to the food court and get a slushie.
And a Mrs. Fields.
Of course.
And talk about Cody.
Oh, Cody.
There's always a kid named Cody. How come there's no, adult Codys? Have you ever met an adult Cody?
No. I think the oldest is, I worked with one when I was, 22, and he was also probably, 21 or 22. But then I don't know what happened to him.
Oh. Do you think we'll ever make mistakes again?
I'm sure we won't. Much like my favorite Cody, Diablo.
And your favorite game.
Diablo.
And your favorite Taco Bell sauce.
Mild.
Ooh, Steve, you're living on the edge. It's actually our gruntled listeners that pointed out. So look at this. The power that you have being a Patreon member for $5 a month. You can point out our mistakes. Isn't that fun?
It's another benefit that you get just by going to patreon.com/annoyedgruntboys. You can tell us why we're wrong. Isn't that great?
You make it sound like you're pissed. We're actually not pissed.
No, I don't actually care. Yeah, no, I truly appreciate it because I like to know when I make mistakes, and it's good to, fix them.
We need our patrons, our gruntled listeners to let us know. Maybe not the YouTube commenters that don't give us any actual advice.
Yeah, they just tell us the things that Homer did wrong.
Which is fine, because...
yeah, we didn't tell him to do that.
No. Anyways, Steve, let's just get on with this week's episode. We're going to talk about The Way We Weren't, which aired.
It did.
In the month of May, on the day of the 9th, in the year 2004. Steve, what was the number one movie in the box office?
Why, it was everyone's favorite. Was it everyone's favorite? Probably not, but it was Van Helsing.
This was when Phil Jackson How did I get Hugh Jackman? Phil Jack. You can see how it gets confused.
Yeah, they both were coaches for the Knicks.
Yeah. Phil Jackson is the Wolverine. No, so what, 2004? So, yeah, Hugh Jackman's high on his Wolverine days. We know him as Wolverine. So, of course, he's going to be doing these action-y movies. This is the story of the guy who hunts Draculas.
Yeah, who's not Blade or Buffy.
Right. I've never seen Van Helsing, and I never planned on to, but guess we're going to have to, Steve.
I guess so. Yeah.
Is this our Patreon for this week, Van Helsing?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
All right. Steve, are you fine with Van Helsing? A yes or no answer will be fine.
Yes. Or no.
I want more enthusiasm. That yes was just too crazy for my taste.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, sorry, Steve. I was reading Robin Hood, and Little John just fell into the river when they were fighting with sticks. It was funny.
Oh, man, that reminds me. Oh, yeah, I remember when I saw the movie Prince of Thieves.
Oh, sorry. Got to get up. I'm in the wrong seat.
Oh, yeah.
This guy is telling me to move.
Yeah, the usher.
Yes.
It's weird how much power they yield. It's really ludicrous.
Yeah, I already said the crazy part. Steve, what was the #1 song on the Hot Billboard for that day?
Why, it was Yeah by Usher, featuring Little John and Ludacris. But why?
Steve, I was I was hopping the train recently, just going through the country, and I came on a train that had a hobo on it. Hobo was just really smelly, and I'm like, can you tell me why? Just give me one good explanation of why you smell, hobo. Steve, what was the hot rock alternative for that week?
Why, it was The Reason by Hobo Stank.
Huh.
You know what you should have said to him? Return to your place of living. I mean, who says that you just can't go back to where you used to be instead of riding the rails?
I forgot to tell you, I was with my friend, a new girl, and she has a weird lisp, and she did a lot of heroin, and so every time she would say needles, it sounded like T's instead of D's. I remember the name of the new girl from the TV show with one of Bart Simpson's girlfriends, Zooey Deschanel. Remember her name? What's her full name?
Was it Jessica?
There we go. Steve, what was the #1 country song? And of course, Millie Bobby Brown's Father-in-Law.
Of course, yes. It was Who Says You Can't Go Home Again by Bon Jovi, featuring Jessica Nettles.
Remember last week when we were fumbling around with this, and we were just like, oh, let's just go back to the start over again. Let's do that again.
Okay, I like it. What was the #1 hot and dance and electric song?
Yeah, by Usher, featuring Lil Jon and Ludacris. All right,
great.
We're good. Steve,
yes.
Let's just get on with this week's episode. The way we weren't. Homer and Marge learned they were destined to be together when Homer tells the story of his first kiss. Ooh, but then also Marge tells the same story.
I like it.
We're going to watch it, come back, and talk about it.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
In the summertime when the weather is hot.
Guys, thanks for coming to the show. Improv can be scary, but we're going to have a great time tonight. I just need some help from the audience. All right?
That's me.
All right, thank you. All right, can I get a word?
Dildo.
Okay, I heard Patreon.
No, dildo.
Okay. Dildo, Patreon. Okay, now give me a location.
Dildo Factory.
Okay. Give me the name of your favorite show that airs on Sunday night on Fox.
Family Guy.
Now, give me your favorite podcast about that show.
The Quahog Boys.
Okay. Give me a name of a food.
Come.
Okay. All right, let's do this scene. Hello, everybody. I'm the Quahog Boys. And when I'm not drinking cum at the Dildo Factory, I love to watch and listen to the Annoyed Grunt Boys on Patreon. That's right. They review movies from the episodes that they're watching that week, and sometimes there's even a special thing, like this month, when they're talking about The Family Guy, or rather, The Simpsons Guy, on their show. And it's only $5 a month. Why wouldn't I want to do that?
Do we have to get 2 drink minimum like this shitty improv show?
No, it's just $5 a month. And that's it. You don't have to drink at all, and you don't have to listen to dumb improv like this.
This is pretty dumb improv.
It's been a while.
I'm going to take over the audience member here and say, go to patreon.com/annoyedgruntboys. This week, we're watching Marvel's Iron Man 3. Woo. And is your favorite movie starring Marvel Man himself, Ryan Reynolds, the Amityville Horror? Then stop, drop, and roll to your local patreon.com/annoyedgruntboys and give us $5 every month to hear hilarious takes on hilarious movies like Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland.
With the Marvel Man himself, Johnny Depp.
All right, I think I have to go now.
All right, thanks for coming to the show.
Yes, and
yes.
And we're back. Today we're talking about The Way We Weren't. It's the 20th episode of the 15th season. It's episode 333 in the show's run, or Half a Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Its original air date was May 9th, 2004. The nerd code is FABF13, written by Mr. Burns himself, J. Stewart, directed by Mr. Anderson, Mike B., and the showrunner is Gene Al.
Oh, Mr. Burns, we've talked about him. He is, as you would say, excellent. But we talked about him last week. He was a writer for Beavis and Butthead, Unhappily Ever After, Futurama, and The Simpsons, and also he was a very important cog in the Simpsons tapped out machine, which is no longer, sadly, with us. Like I say, we just talked about The Monkey Suit last week, but other ones, Holiday of Future Past, Days of Future Future, Simpsons-orama, to name a few. And so welcome yet again, Mr. Burns.
I think we should talk more about Spyro, A Hero's Tale.
Well, it is a wonderful game, kind of in the Crash Bandicoot universe, loosely. I only know this because it's one of the two video games that my wife plays frequently.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, Steve.
I know.
So I brought it up.
But, if you want to dive deep into everyone's favorite purple dragon, maybe that's an episode for the Patreon.
I think Purple Dragon is a sex toy at the local sex shop.
It's good that you shop local for your
yeah, always shop local.
Cryptid-based sex toys.
Look, Etsy took my store down, so I can't sell any more adult toys. Yeah,
it's a shame.
It really is. I've heard from writing video games is a lot harder than writing just a script for a television show or a movie, because you have to have all these variables while you're, especially now with playing a video game and making video games. So yeah, it doesn't. Well, nothing sounds fun to me. So
yeah, but you're right, because not only do you have to have a good narrative structure, but you also have to lead your protagonist and tell them to do stuff, and also direct them if they don't do the right thing, how it'll affect them. And yeah, and I think that because so many games nowadays are story based, or at least have an overarching narrative, that yeah, it's got to be really tough. And
the voice acting, you have to have so many different things to say because so many different variables will happen. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but I think video games are, it's the new future of entertainment.
Yep. You got your Atari, your Commodore, and that new player on the market, Nintendo. Used to be a card company.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Steve, should we just get into this week's episode?
Yes, let's do it.
Well, it begins, as it always does, with a couch gag.
Sure.
Somebody's off screen throwing knives at the wall while everyone is seated on the couch. But when Homer reaches for a bowl of chips, a knife nearly hits him.
Well, yeah, it's good gag, classic. I wish I was a knife thrower. I think that'd be fun.
I thought you were going to say, I wish I was a bowl of chips.
I wish you were a bowl of chips so I could eat some chips. I want a bowl of chips.
Potato or corn?
I find that I'm more happy with corn than potato myself.
That's a weird statement coming from Mr. Potato Head himself.
It's true. I do love potatoes, and I do like a potato chip, but if I'm being honest, corn chips tend to be more satisfying because a bad corn chip's still good, but I've had some bad potato chips that aren't great, and I don't love basics. I don't love a Ruffles or a Lay's yellow bag simple one.
Well, sometimes they slap. It's good if you put them in between a sandwich.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
A corn chip, are you talking I'm talking a Dorito or what?
I mean, I was thinking about Doritos, but also just a plain restaurant style salted corn chip is pretty good.
Okay, but you have to dip it. You just don't eat it naked, right?
I could eat it naked and without any dippings. I'd get a corn crumbs on my penis, but other than that,
See, I like a frito.
corn on the cob.
Corn on the hammer.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no, see, I think with corn chips, I gotta have some salsa.
Yeah.
But, like, I love flavored potato chips. You know, I love a salt and vinegar, a sour cream, a barbecue, all dressed. There's a whole episode of Letterkenny about the best potato chip. It's a great episode.
I mean, potato chips are pretty good, but yeah, I don't know.
All right, it's weird that you prefer the corn chip over the potato chip. I'm not sure if you actually are the annoyed grunt boy, Steve.
Oh, well, French fries, let's get a coffee, G.I. Joes, which we'll talk about later, hammers, yeah.
All right, I guess you're the same Steve that I've known for 4 years.
Oh, that's right, because I'm a clone.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, me too, because I'm a clone. I wouldn't remember it. Anyway, our episode begins, as it always does, with Milhouse and Ralph raking leaves in the Simpsons' front yard. Milhouse is confused about the game that they're playing, but Bart, comfortably sitting in a lawn chair, explains that it's because he is it. He goes on to say that whoever finishes raking first can go get some lemonade for him. Milhouse considers some insubordination when the boys are interrupted by Springfield's favorite non-chain-smoking set of twins, Sherry O'Terry.
So the boys, the twins, and their boy-crazy cousin head to Bart's treehouse to play Spin the Bottle. So here's Bart Summer right here. It's the girl that Bart might get to kiss. This is our girl of the episode. All right.
We're starting right off the gate.
Yeah, we don't even have a name for her, do we?
Sherry O'Terry's cousin?
Molly Shannon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all one word. Or Anya Gasteyer. So, but first they need to find a bottle to spin, so Milhouse grabs one of Homer's duffs and empties it out of the treehouse. Just then, Craig went into his TV and punched Milhouse in the face for emptying a beer. But that didn't happen, Steve. It actually conveniently lands in the mouth of Homer, who is napping in a hammock below, which he purchased at Marianne's Hammocks.
In the hammock district.
Later, when we wash his bike, I'm not gonna do a good job.
I'm telling Mr. Bart.
Shh.
Hey, guys.
Uh-oh, girls. You guys need your cootie shots.
Ow.
Well, I hate this job, but I love the health plan. Okay, ladies, don't you have a poodle to dress up?
Fine, we'll go. We'll find some other way to entertain our boy-crazy cousin who thinks you're cute.
Oh, I wouldn't mind pushing that in the mud.
Homer drunk? But how?
Round and round the bottle twirls. I hope it stops on one of the girls.
Homer drunk. It's great.
What a sad state that our economy is in, that Milhouse has to work an unpleasant job just for health care, so he can protect his cooties.
Isn't that all jobs?
That's right. I do want to ask you, so this is a little weird, but I was on the TikTok, as you know, the kids are tend to doing these days. And I saw an author talk about a weird phenomenon that he noticed. And so I want to ask you, Craig, and I know we've had like the kids in the treehouse before, but have you ever seen a treehouse in real life?
Yeah, when I go for walks, there's a neighbor's house. They have a treehouse right in.
Okay, so it is a real thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I feel like so many cartoons of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and today, used to always like feature like the big kid treehouse. And I never like really saw one growing up, and neither had the author that I follow on TikTok. Jason Pargin is his name. And so I was just wondering like how common treehouses were, because like my wife growing up in Hawaii, she didn't see a lot either, because palm trees aren't great for treehouses, I guess. So I was just wondering.
Yeah, and my friend, like in elementary school, had a clubhouse in his backyard, which was like a shed, but it was like built, if I remember correctly, it was kind of built, not like those like sheds you can get at Home Depot, but like built by his dad.
Yeah, my dad always promised to make me a treehouse, but it didn't happen.
Do you want me to build you a treehouse?
Would you please? You're a dad.
You kind of live in a treehouse, right? I mean, what floor are you in your studio?
I'm on the 6th floor, which is actually the highest floor of the building. So yeah, I'm better than a treehouse. I have electricity.
And there's wood to build that big treehouse of yours.
That's true. I'll just cut down my cabinets. That's good. That's smart.
And you should put a sign on the door of your abode that says, no Homer's Club.
Right. We're allowed one.
So the bottle points to Sherry and Terry's cousin. So Milhouse leans towards her, hoping that she'll enjoy the taste of ringworm medicine. Yum, yum. Disgusted, the girl jumps out of the way, and then Milhouse, with his lips puckered and his eyes closed, doesn't see that she's moved, nor does she see that it's Homer has taken her place. So Milhouse kisses Homer's lips passionately, but Homer stops him and takes off his shirt and then takes off his pants. And then music begins. No, Steve, that's gross. Homer's very disgusted that he had kissed that sad, weird kid. I like how sometimes Homer knows Milhouse, but then sometimes he just calls him like that weird kid with glasses. Doesn't know his name.
Like, he's probably the one kid that's not a Simpson that's in their house more than any other kid. Because, like, Rod and Todd probably don't come over that often.
No. Why would they?
Right. And Lisa doesn't have any friends, so...
No. She's a girl. In fiction,
right.
Girls are not allowed to have friends.
Right. They're either allowed to have a sibling or nothing.
I was thinking about that. Okay, like Full House, obviously DJ had Kimmy, who was her friend. Like, starting off, but like, okay, no, Stephanie had friends too, but there's never mind. My point is mute.
I think that you pick the one sitcom that doesn't show it, but like, take Family Ties, Growing Pains. Like, they both had like the male protagonist character by a guy named Michael, and they had a dorky best friend, be it Skippy or Boner. Second Boner,
yeah.
A reference in as many weeks. But then Mallory and Tracy Carol, they didn't have any friends.
Well, Tina Yothers on Family Ties didn't either.
That's true.
Have friends. But it was until like Mallory had a boyfriend, Nick,
Ew.
who was kind of the friend.
Mm-hmm.
But they'd have like guests, like there would be like a friend that they had like come over for like one episode.
But it'd be a very special episode, like she's blind or she has an abusive father or she like steals or something.
Did the Brady Bunch kids have friends?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, yeah.
I don't remember any of them like having, I don't know. Yeah, no.
I think that's why the show King of the Hill is smart, because they just had a son, Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
But then Bobby had a Connie and Joseph.
Yeah, and I think that dynamic works really well because you have, the characters are just so well written.
Yeah.
King of the Hill's great. Everybody should watch it. But The Simpsons.
Oh, right.
Homer then sees the empty Duff bottle in the middle of the treehouse, and he's saddened that his beer will never become his urine, of course, despite the fact that it was dumped down his throat, so it will be his urine. Homer chokes Bart, holding onto his neck as he climbs down the tree, and Milhouse pokes his head out, feeling euphoric after experiencing his so-called first kiss. Although, of course, in Season 3, which we haven't seen because we're not allowed, he kisses Samantha Stanky.
Well, maybe this episode canonically takes place before that episode.
Sure. Very possible.
Sure. Maybe it was his first kiss with the tongue.
Oh, yeah.
So Marge confronts him, saying that the only way to solve this dispute between Homer and Bart is in Simpson family court. When Bart asks just what the hell that is, Marge tells him that she was inspired by a now discredited book entitled 101 Spankternatives, which is a great guide for parenting without physical punishment. I have that on my shelf as a parent, Steve.
That's good. Very good.
But it's also next to my adult shelf, because it's also great for chronic masturbators.
Exactly. And if you find out that your child is masturbating too much, you've got two solutions. Both answers are in that book.
Is that when your father came in and said, look, if you stop masturbating, I'll build you a treehouse, and that's why you never got the treehouse?
That makes sense. Yeah. It's like, I've got the wood. Anyway. Inside the house, Judge Lisa calls for the family court to order for the case of Simpson v. Simpson. Homer, acting as his own counsel, asks Bart if it's fair for a 10-year-old boy to steal a beer with an intent to kiss. And Bart counters, asking Homer if it was fair to bet against his own son's Little League team. So Homer grabs a baseball bat, asking to treat Bart as a hostile witness. And Bart requests that Homer consider how he acted as a boy, which causes Homer to reveal a truth about his past, which shocks Marge, Lisa, and the jury, which is made up of Santa's Little Helper and Snowball too.
Homer, I'll bet when you were 10, you were stealing beers, kissing girls, and tipping dinosaurs.
Your father's first kiss was in high school
With me?
Actually, Marge, there was someone before you. It was years ago when I was 10. Back in the 60s or 50s or maybe it was the early 70s. Underprivileged? You pretended we were poor just to get me into camp?
Yeah, pretended.
Hey, you must be Homer. I'm Lenny, and this is Carl.
Wow, a Negro.
We prefer the term black.
So cool.
Hey, you fellas, I'm Mo. I'm your junior counselor.
Mo's not really a counselor. His parents dropped him off here like 2 years ago and they never came back for him.
I sleep under upside-down canoes.
I love the shock when Homer reveals that his first kiss wasn't Marge.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone gasps, including the pets.
Yes. They were all scandalized by the fact that their owners didn't kiss first.
Is that a joke that Daddy Matt wouldn't approve of because of the human tendencies?
I think so, yeah. I think he'd be quite offended. But I do like the fact that they're playing with timelines even back in 2004, because Homer says that it was the 50s or the 60s, or I guess it was the 70s.
Yeah, I guess that joke should appease the canon nerds.
Yeah. And I think reference-wise, it's definitely in the 70s. Although the counselor does have a ponytail, and I don't feel like most men had ponytails back then, but it's a minor thing. Maybe he's a time traveler.
Yeah, and like the etiquette camp seems very 50s to me.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
100%.
And the way like Patty and Selma are dressed, I don't know, it just feels kind of... But it's funny because it's just, whatever it is. It's a cartoon. Who gives a shit?
Exactly.
Which is our new, stance on this podcast.
Yes.
We're not adhere to the canon. We're not Paco heads. Isn't it a Paco Bell canon indeed?
Oh, with the classical music reference. I love it.
I remember his name because it sounds like Taco Bell.
That's what I think every time, too. You know who was a real canon head? Homer in Homer Palooza.
I don't know that reference because we don't watch those kind of episodes, Steve.
That's right. It was a test and you passed.
So, little Homer, Lenny, and Carl head to the lake with a canoe as Mungo Jerry's In the Summertime plays. Homer carries the watercraft over his head, unknowingly knocking his friends off the dock and into the water. This results in the three boys laughing and Lenny hitting Homer in the face with an oar, causing him to fall into the water. Now, last week, you knew that these four boys, Homer, Lenny, Carl, and Mo, were all part of this past, and you thought there was that joke of the internet and that being the lining in swim trunks.
Yes.
Now, you were wrong. Now, I swear, did we review that episode?
Okay, so I found that episode, and we have not. But it is another episode in which they do kind of think back in times. Actually, they are older.
Okay, so they're teens.
Yeah.
It's the one where Mr. Smithers' father, right?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, we're not here talking about that episode. We should just continue this flashback, right?
Yes. So
okay.
Their adventures in the great outdoors continue as Homer uses his compass to find the perfect spot to enjoy lunch. But, unfortunately, that spot is on a runway of an airport, which the boys realize as the plane lands right where they're sitting and causes them to lift up into the air.
Well, the camp counselor takes the boys by boat across the lake. He points out the girls' camp, causing Homer to get excited. He cannot wait to meet the girls. Sadly, the boat revs past that camp and to a dock marked servants.
So Mo tells the boys their labor in the kitchen will pay the camp bills. But seeing as there's no water, no heat, and they have to catch their own breakfast, Carl wonders what bills they actually have. And Mo reveals that 12 kids have died at the camp, and so they need money to pay for the lawyers. Was that Cap Crystal Lake?
Yeah, this gives me horror movie vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Or any, like, summer camp movie, Meatballs and the like.
Exactly. Ernest Saves Camp.
I never saw that one, Steve. Maybe on our Patreon.
Yes.
I know the answer to this, and I don't know if we talked about it before, but like we'll never get the opportunity to talk about summer camp because we won't talk about Camp Krusty.
Right.
I never went to a summer camp. The only thing I ever did, which you did too, was like an outdoor camp for like a week in like 6th grade.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was the closest that I had to it was like that outdoor school, which was fun, and I think I got like a lot of the outdoor school or the summer camp experiences. But I feel like, watching like Wet Hot American Summer and the like, I just feel like there's something that we didn't get to see going to that, and I miss it.
I don't really have memories of outdoor camp. I have like maybe 5 just still images. Like I don't remember like exactly what we did because it was a whole week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Like I don't remember anything. Like I remember a hike.
Yeah.
And then like being on a bus.
Sure.
And then I don't remember who was in the bunk with, because I think you had like a chaperone and like maybe 6 kids in a cabin.
Yeah.
Don't remember that. I don't remember the facilities of like going to the bathroom or showering. I don't remember like any activities we did in the camp. Was there campfires? Did we have like, did we eat food? I don't remember eating food.
Wow. Huh.
Like the only thing I remember is like that hike and then like seeing some whales. And I've tried to figure out where that hike was my whole life. Like, cause it was the Oregon coast. I'm like, I want to hike up that again because it was a cool view, but I don't remember any of it. I don't remember where the camp was at.
That's weird.
Yeah, I have like 0 memories. Like, I have no idea how I forgot everything.
No, I mean, like, I'm thinking back to my experience in camp. I remember doing a zip line. I remember the counselor that was in our cabin, his name was Frog, because they all had, like, dumb nature names. And then I just remember my bunkmate was an exchange student from Ethiopia who spoke no English, but he was, like, the funniest kid. Like, he had really good comedic timing, and he knew, like, how to make you laugh without any words. And so, like, we'd, like, crack each other up. And the fact that when we all got on the bus to go back to our homes, every kid was crying because they didn't want to leave. Those are my memories, but yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't have any of that. Like, where did those memories go?
Maybe you're like Tony Hale and you have, like, no memories of yourself as a child.
Is that a thing he said?
Yes, it is. He has, like, really no memory of himself before he was, like, 18.
Isn't there, like, some sort of, like, your soul died and like another soul, like a dead soul, inhabited it and took your body? Isn't that like what some people believe or something like that?
You know whose soul that was? Mary Lou Henner.
She's still alive.
Yeah, but she eats souls. That's why her memory's so good. She eats other people's memories. She must be stopped.
It's weird having like all those memories gone. Like, I don't know. I should have enjoyed. Maybe I just didn't care. I guess that's the point. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Either that or something traumatic happened and you're just blocking it out.
Well, I kind of feel like I didn't go with like my friends at the friends that I had like during that year, because I think they split it up like a winter and like a spring,
right?
And I feel like you got to choose, and I think I went maybe in the spring, and I think my friends I just don't remember. Like, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, let's just get back to their camp, Steve.
Okay.
So Homer, Lenny, and Carl all work in the dish pit, clearing trays and washing plates as they fall down a conveyor belt. So Homer tells Moe that he was under the impression that they'd play fun games. So Moe smacks him with a spatula and tells him they can play the game Stay Out of My Way. And another tray lands in front of Homer. But in addition to uneaten food and soiled dishes, this tray also has a piece of orthodontic equipment that will change Homer's life.
Oh no, my retainer.
I got it. Ooh la la. A girl with teeth me like.
Oh, thank you. You sound so sweet.
That's because I've eaten 16 pieces of pie. You know, doing dishes has been the best part of camp.
Really? Why?
Because I talked to you.
Oh.
I couldn't see her through the flaps, but she's my kind of girl.
Tell us more about the flaps.
To me, they were the rubbery gates of heaven, because behind them was the girl of my dreams.
Oh, man. Someday love will come sliding down my chute.
Well, I can ask if she has any friends, because she wants to meet me tonight.
Way to go.
Out of sight.
Craig, tell me all about the flaps.
Steve, I don't think it's those flaps you want to learn about.
Well, I want something coming down my chute.
All right. I wonder who that little girl is, Steve. It doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, her voice is not raspy, and it seems like the actor would probably enjoy doing that more often.
Wouldn't it be funny if it wasn't Marge and it was Patty or Selma? Or like Maude.
I like that.
Yeah, what if there's an episode where Homer and Maude actually dated?
Like, maybe Maude goes a little, like, crazy and is tired of, like, all the rules and the regulations that Ned puts upon her and like her whole religious world around her.
When they were younger, do not win. Like, Homer's not having an affair.
I mean, somewhere in the interim, like before Marge, but after Marge. After this Marge, but before high school Marge. Like,
okay.
Maybe Maud lives in a religious world, but she's looking to bust loose. So she, like, sluts it up, respectfully, with Homer.
Maybe. I have it. So it was during the time when Homer was in a band called Sadgasm, and they were split up, Homer, and Maud becomes a groupie for Sadgasm, and like, has sex with everybody in the band, and we get to see it too.
Oh yeah. Well, Lenny tells Homer that if he's gonna go, he should bring protection. He then digs into his back pocket and hands Homer a switchblade knife. And Homer examines it, clearly seeing the switch, but just wonders where the blade part is. And after a scream of pain, Homer finds the blade, straight into his eye, meaning that he'll have to wear an eye patch. And he's worried about the date, but Moe assures him that chicks love all kinds of injuries, like patches, scars, stumps, everything but zits, like those covering the face of that future tavern owner.
So, ready to cross the lake to visit his Mr. Girl, Homer wonders just how he's going to get across. He looks at the nearby rowboat and considers swimming over. And that's right. It's Roe versus Wade. And it's his right to choose. What do you think of that joke?
I really like it.
Yeah.
It's silly, but it's fun.
Funny.
Yeah.
It's dumb fun. Full of cum. Just then, a dashing man in a sailboat passes by offering help.
Are ye looking to cross the lake which separates ye from she?
Who are you?
The sailing instructor. And on movie night, I run the projector. Only PG, nothing R. Yar.
I couldn't believe my eye. She was the prettiest girl I'd ever seen. Until I met your mother, who made that girl look like a Godzilla made of garbage.
Homer, that girl was me.
How romantic. You and Dad were drawn to each other as kids and you didn't even realize it.
Yes, and then your father broke my heart. And if I'd known he was you, I never would have married you.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah! It was Marge. I didn't see that coming. I mean, I don't see a lot of things coming.
Yeah, and neither did Homer, because he only had one eye.
I don't like eye trauma.
No.
When it comes to watching things.
And if you're going to do it, leave it for Lenny, because...
Yeah, there you go.
That's his deal. But yeah, that's frightening to, like, be jabbed in the eye with anything, let alone a switchblade knife. Horrifying.
They don't also seek medical help. It's just Moe.
Yeah.
Here, wear this eye patch. Also, it's interesting that, like, Moe's, like, not their friend right now. You know, he's just the counselor.
And also seemingly older than them. I mean, I guess he was a little rascal, so...
Yeah, I feel like that would track.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, like, Moe would be, like, in his mid-50s if Homer's, like, 40.
Yeah. Because I could see him hanging out with teenagers, like, being, like, in his 20s because he doesn't have friends his age.
That's true.
Because he probably would, like, get them beer.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, I could do this for a living.
He was probably still selling mattresses at the time.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Good callback.
See, we remember things, Timothy.
Yeah, we're not always dumb, or at least one of us isn't. So Homer's confused by Marge's revelation and requests a brief recess. And Judge Leach allows it. And Homer says, yay, recess, and then runs outside and swings on the swing set. Now, what did you think of that joke, Craig?
I feel like that joke has been done a lot, but I've never seen it, or maybe I have. I don't know. It's just every time I watched Night Court as a kid, I'm like, why aren't they going out to play on a swing set?
Yeah. I mean, I was going to nominate it for Joke Jail, but the more I think about it, it's not like a bad joke. It's just, I feel like it's something that you and I would have thought of. And so that's why I think it's dumb.
It's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Like, J. Stewart Burns, like, did it. He's like, fine, I'm putting this in. Can you point to me any other media that's made that joke? I mean, I can't off the top of my head.
No, I can't either. Like, I feel like it's akin to the order in the court and people order lunch.
Right.
But I also think The Simpsons did it better with Homer playing devil's advocate. Just because that was a surprise. Like, seeing the pinball machine called devil's advocate is such a great, unexpected thing. But I think this is fun.
I think you're right. I still laughed, but you're right. That is the when comedy writers are in a room and they're pitching jokes, they always say, just go for the most obvious thing first, and then we work around that. Because they'll find a different joke. And I feel like with that, they're just like, nah, well, let's do it.
Yeah, in improv, you call it A to C thinking, rather than going A to B. But yeah, exactly, you're totally right. But with the whole family sitting down in the living room, Bart tries to wrap his head around the situation. When Homer was 10, he was attracted to Marge and didn't even know it. And Bart feels that that's so cool. Or is it lame? Yeah, Homer's lame.
Were you, when you were 10, attracted to your wife's dad's balls? Because that's where she was.
That took a lot of thinking on my part to figure out. Was I attracted to my wife's dad's balls?
Dad's balls.
Yeah, I don't think so. But also, I've never seen Laura's dad's balls or any part attached to him or those balls. So, I mean, maybe they're very attractive, but I'm going to say no.
But you'll think his balls like, thanks for making your daughter. Aren't you glad your wife doesn't listen to this podcast?
I mean, yeah, for many reasons. Yeah.
Homer defensively responds, asking if it's lame that he's only kissed one girl in his whole life. And he brags to Bart that it's only one more kiss that he's had. But Bart tells his father he's kissed 3 girls, which just causes Homer to cry, realizing just how lame he actually is. So the 3 girls Bart has kissed have been Laura, no, not Steve's wife.
Oh, good.
But Laura Powers from New Kid on the Block, which we can never watch.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Lovejoy, Bart's girlfriend, which we can never watch. And Gina Vendetti, The Wandering Juvie, which we have watched and reviewed and re-released that episode.
Yes.
He would later, of course, kiss Darcy in Little Big Girl, as well as an unnamed girl in the monkey suit from last week, Jenny in The Good, Sad, and the Drugly, Nikki McKenna in Stealing for Space, and Moonshine River. Becky also kissed him, and Sherry O'Terry kissed him in Homer's Odyssey, which we can never watch that one. But that was non-consensual, so, it doesn't count.
Right. This is why I chose this episode here, because I think it does a good job of highlighting all the girls that Bart has kissed, which we've covered over Bart's summer. See? It's good. I did it on purpose.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
What about Homer? He says he's only kissed one girl.
He's actually kissed 2 others in addition to Marge. There's Patty, later on in this episode, and Mindy Simmons in The Last Temptation of Homer, which we can't talk about. And he's also kissed Carl.
Not Carl.
Right, Carl from Simpsons and Delilah, which we cannot talk about. Grady from 3 Gays of the Condo, which we can talk about, and we did. And Milhouse earlier on in this episode. And also, did he ever kiss Lurleen?
See, we don't know, because we can never watch that episode.
Exactly. Well, Marge informs Homer that he won't be kissing anyone for a while, not even her. And Lisa isn't sure why Marge is so upset, and this leads Marge to tell a tale of her own at camp, which leads to this fascinating story.
I'll start from the beginning. The girls' camp was focused on teaching etiquette and deportment. Now that I've captured your interest, let me continue.
By summer's end, I promise you will all walk like ladies, talk like ladies, and hold your liquor like ladies. Now chin up, head back, legs together. Excellent. Girls, see how Marge's legs are slanted? You make Jackie O look like a splay-legged milk horse. Now stand and walk. Well done. I'd be proud if you grew up to be my husband's mistress.
Thank you. I used to walk like this all the time until my tendons snapped. They heard it in Shelbyville.
I love in the beginning of that when Marge is like, I went to a camp that had taught etiquette and deportment. Now that I have your attention. And then she tells it like that's anything fascinating. Also, I like how everyone recalls her tendon snapping and people hearing it in Springfield. Everyone just nods yeah, that was rough.
Well, Marge continues her tale, recalling a very special dinner where the girls continued their etiquette education, such as how to use each of their 33 forks. And young Helen Lovejoy uses one of the utensils to eat an olive, but the instructor says it's not its intended use. So she then offers Helen a simple trick to remember. She stabs the fork into Helen's hand.
I like that a lot.
I mean, I'd remember.
Mm-hmm. So the instructor, Miss Kilbrew, examines Marge's tray, delighted to see that her knife and fork are together, and that she denied herself dessert. Marge then sends her dirty dishes down through the flaps, only to realize that she left her retainer on it. Luckily, a voice on the other side assures her that he has her retainer, and like magic, that retainer floats up on the dumbwaiter.
I like stories.
Me too.
I've seen like different sides of like one person telling the story, and then you get to see the other person's version. That's always fun.
It is.
Story structure. Marge wants to thank her mystery hero if only she knew his name. So Helen, still unpleasantly gossiping in her adolescence, guesses that it's something trashy like Billy Bob, and Patty chimes in to suggest that it could be something low rent like Homer. Cookie Kwan says big ugly Homer, causing all the girls to laugh. Marge is sure it's a better name than that, which causes Homer to think quickly. And after he's caught talking to himself, Homer says that his name is Elvis Jagger Abdul-Jabbar.
Good body count on that name. After telling her friends that she has a date, little Marge wonders how she should prepare. What should she wear? Should she paint her toes? And the most important question of all, what should she do with her hair? And as we'll hear in this clip, Helen offers a suggestion, and Marge is inspired.
Iron my hair? That's what Leslie Uggams does.
Leslie who?
Uggams. Oh, it's really straightening out. I guess I'm going to have to be a brunette tonight.
Oh, dear me. One day as a straight-haired brunette. I feel so bad for you. Stupid girl.
Please don't be a freak. Please don't be a freak.
I met her on the mountain. There I took her life. Met her on the mountain. Stabbed her with my knife.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, he's cute. And he's got an eye patch. I've never seen a boy so mysterious. You must be Elvis.
Elvis? What the hell kind of name is that? Oh, yeah, right.
We've heard the same story 2 times now. Whose side are we going to hear next? The sea captain's?
No, I'd best be on me way. I'll just take some teddygrams for the road.
There goes a good friend.
All right, kids. Leslie Uggam, of course, you all know her from Season 3, Episode 18 of The Muppet Show, playing herself.
Exactly. She also sang songs on the Ed Sullivan Theater, like that one song.
But I think kids mostly know her today from the Ryan Reynolds movies called Deadpool.
Of course, he makes a Leslie Uggam's reference in that, right?
No, she's in those movies.
Oh, okay. Is she really?
Yeah, she's the his blind roommate.
Oh, okay. Today I learned. I was today years old. I've only seen the first one, and it was in passing. So yeah, that's cool. Nice. Good for Leslie.
I mean, she's been in a lot more stuff than that, but yeah, her character's Blind Al. She's very funny in those movies.
She is, yeah. So as Homer reflects on his friendship with Captain McAllister, I think that's very funny just that he was sitting there and Homer refers to him as being such a good friend. Marge warns the kids that her story is about to get a little WB. And when I first thought about that, I was like trying to figure out what the WB stood for, like with boys or wet booty or...
Yeah, it's another thing we have to explain to kids. Before the CW, it was the WB.
Yes, after the UPN, but before the CW, there was the WB, which at the time showed a lot of teen and college-type romance shows, like Dawson's Creek, Gilmore Girls, or the completely non-problematic cast of Seventh Heaven.
Well, let's see about the cast of Seventh Heaven. I think there's only one problematic person from that movie. Show.
Yeah,
Beverly Mitchell.
That's right. Creep.
I just remember, like, as a kid, my mind couldn't, like, grasp the fact that Jessica Biel was the oldest daughter of the family, and, like, Beverly Mitchell's character was, like, the, like, middle child. Or it was, like, she had 2 older sisters. Yeah, she was, like, the middle girl.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, in real life, Beverly Mitchell was older than Jessica Biel? Like, I just didn't understand.
That doesn't make any sense. It's confusing.
It's like... Yeah, by like a couple years, it's crazy.
Also,
yeah,
I'm looking at the IMDb page of Seventh Heaven, and the cast listing is interesting because you have Stephen Collins up top, which is a bold move because yeah,
he's the top.
Yeah, and then you have Catherine Hicks, who is Annie Camden, the mom.
Both of them were in Star Trek movies.
Okay. Then we have the aforementioned Beverly Mitchell, and then we have on 4th billing is Happy, playing Happy, the dog. Like, the dog, I don't know the dog's gender, but it has fourth billing because it was in 242 episodes.
Oh.
And then it goes to Mackenzie Rosman, David Gallagher, Barry Watson, and the rest. And Jessica Biel's like way down there, like maybe 7th or 8th.
I think she like left after a couple,
Yeah.
I feel like she was already like getting, kind of popular.
Yeah.
Like getting roles, I think. But yeah, I watched 7th Heaven every once in a while. It's more like, because it might have come on after Buffy, which of course was on. I feel like it might have been on after Buffy or before Buffy or Angel, and I would just like catch it and just be like, it was one of those like, this is gross, the show exists, because it was all just like super religious, because he was like a priest. And it's also gross because he turned out to be a pedophile in real life, the dad, Stephen Collins.
Right.
But like...
Real method actor there.
Well, not a priest, a preacher, Steve, because priests can't have kids. They can only... Never mind. But, like 7th Heaven, like, I feel like they don't air that anymore because of him. So I think a lot of people that they don't get residuals from that show anymore. So fuck that dude.
Yeah, poor Jeremy London having to suffer because of him.
Jeremy London was on the show?
Yeah, he was in several episodes, along with the lesser Duff, Haley. Speaking of The Simpsons.
All right, we're going to watch the 7th Heaven, Steve. We're going to do a whole podcast.
All right.
Well, little Homer thinks to himself that he'd really like to kiss Marge. He is then struck with an idea that he thinks is wholly his own original thought. He yawns and stretches, his arm landing on Marge's shoulder. So she takes this to mean that Homer is growing bored. So Marge asks if he likes music. But before he can answer, Marge says that she likes Bobby, Goldsboro, Gilbert, Sullivan, Terry Jacks, and Parliament, but not Funkadelic. What a very funny musical taste, Marge.
Yeah, like the first 3 make sense for Marge to, like, it's like AM Gold, like singer-songwriter type stuff. But the fact that she's like listening to Flashlight and she's like, yeah, I'm down with Dr. Funkenstein. But then she hears, Maggot Brain. She's like, I don't like that 10-minute guitar solo. It's too much. Like, it's a good distinction because, of course, Funkadelic was more rock-based and Parliament was more classic funk. Both very good.
This was a joke for all of you funky fans.
Yes. For all you Bootsy heads and Clinton knights. So Homer watches Marge's lips as she speaks, wondering how is he going to kiss them. And he attempts a witty quip, but then just stammers. And his brain asks him if he's chicken, and then mockingly clucks at Homer. And Marge's brain somehow hears that clucking, and then just figures out, I'm just going to kiss Homer. And then they look into each other's eyes and begin to make out.
I thought that joke of, like, is he making chicken noises? I'm like, hey,
yeah.
What? Jesus. So as they kiss, Marge and Homer are transported to their own fantasy land, accompanied by the turtles. No, Steve, not Leonardo DiCaprio or Michelangelo or Raphael or Donatello or Venus de Milo,
of course,
girl turtle from The Next Mutation. They're singing Happy Together. Every time I hear that song, I think of Adaptation.
Me too.
Her hair floats through the psychedelic world, and clouds shaped like lips. They hop on winged unicorns, soaring through the sky into space, and they're leaving a rainbow trail behind. So zooming through the cosmos, Marge passes moons, planets, and floating eyeballs. She's then transformed into a blue crescent moon, which kisses the sun, who has the face of Homer. I mean, Elvis Jagger Abdul-Jabbar.
Well, Homer has his own escapist fantasy, elevating off the ground, surrounded by screaming yellow zonkers. And for those of you who don't know, screaming yellow zonkers are a buttery, sugary, brightly dyed yellow popcorn, a part of the snack family that includes Fiddle Faddle and Poppycock. I'm a Fiddle Faddle head, but screaming yellow zonkers is also very good.
What about Cock of Poppy?
I mean, I called my dad Poppy, and sure. I got a treehouse now, Dad? So the Colonels live up to their name, screaming as Homer munches on them. He is then aboard a flying saucer piloted by the cereal mascot Quisp. Homer eats the cereal and the Quisp himself, and then he floats in the air. Then a land of candy, junk food, and donuts. Homer falls into a pool of red liquid, which just so happens to be the Kool-Aid Man. And Homer drinks the contents of that living pitcher, killing the Kool-Aid Man. Oh no!
So back in present day, the kids congratulate their father on the perfect kiss. That line sounds funny if out of context, Steve.
It does, yes.
Marge says it was satisfying as the million Hallmark cards with all the right-sized envelopes. The thought of that causes both Marge and Lisa to sigh with delight. Homer thought the kiss was akin to a cluster bomb wiping out a graveyard full of zombies, which elicits the joyful sigh from Bart.
You know, this story of lovers who would eventually meet again is very similar to It Happened One Summer, parts 1 and 2, on Who's the Boss, where Tony and Angela realized that they also met as children and shared a kiss while at summer camp. So that's funny.
I believe it also happened on an episode of Full House, where Danny and Jesse and Joey all met in school and presumably kissed each other.
I think I do. They met it on the playground. Yes,
Yeah.
Because I remember the casting was pretty good.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
I think it also, broke some canon with the show. But anyways, we're not doing a Full House podcast yet.
Exactly. But all was not well, as Marge continues her tale. She claims that Homer then revealed his true self. The young couple promised to see each other the following evening at Second Date Rock. And Marge arrived first and used her time to carve EJAJ, Elvis Jagger Abdul-Jabbar, and MB, Marge Bouvier, with a heart around it, onto a nearby tree. And as the night turned to day, Marge sat alone, her tree collapsing after she carved those initials over and over again to pass the time. She sadly accepts that Homer isn't going to come and walks away.
Did you ever carve initials into trees or wood?
I think that I did it once in a Washington State park with a girl in my early 20s.
Ooh, tell me the park and I'll go find it.
I don't remember the park, but it was probably in Battleground somewhere.
All right, I'll go look. Also, it's funny that you just mentioned a little town called Battleground, and people were like, there's a city called Battleground? We won't talk about it.
It is weird.
Back in the living room, Marge tells the kids that it took years before she could trust a boy again. She begins to weep, and Lisa wonders how Homer could be so cruel. So Milhouse appears from nowhere, saying that Homer is the kind of guy who kisses and leaves. While Lisa is in disbelief of her father's actions, Milhouse enjoys one of Marge's awful ice cream sundaes, and Bart compares his father to a common pet, while Homer, in this clip, makes an effort to explain himself.
Face it, Lisa, men are dogs. The worse we treat you, the more you want us. That's not what dogs do. You said dog do.
She sure did. Now, if Lisa's finished with her shenanigans, I'll tell you why I didn't show up. We had just finished our first smooch, and I felt a feeling I had never felt before. I found this stone earlier, and I was going to use it as a nerd smasher, but I want you to have it.
Ooh, it looks like a heart.
Hey, you're right. Give it back. Oh, no. I still want you to have it, but every time you smash a nerd with it, think of me.
I will. See you tomorrow night, okay?
Ooh, what a kiss. If I died now, I'd die happy.
I love Bart's men are dogs. And Lisa's like, that's not what dogs are like at all. And then, of course, dog do.
Yeah.
That's not what dogs do.
And also Homer being like, okay, if Lisa's done with her shenanigans, that's very funny.
Yeah.
So just then, Homer falls off a cliff and crashes onto the rocks, bouncing on each one as though it were the Springfield Gorge, I guess. He stops to appreciate the view, but continues his descent, landing on pointy rock after pointy rock. But his luck turns around as his eye patch gets caught on a branch, suspending him over the water. That luck doesn't last, though, as he falls yet again, this time landing in that water.
So the following morning, Homer is washed ashore. He is awoken by a poke in the ribs from a billy club. So the owner of that club assumes that Homer is trying to break out of fat camp, and nobody breaks free from Camp Flab Away, since the only way out is up a gentle slope. And so the young versions of Quimby, Fat Tony, Comic Book Guy, Wiggum, and maybe just some other extras, we don't know who those are, sweat profusely while attempting to do jumping jacks. Homer says he doesn't belong there, even if his boy bosoms say otherwise.
So Homer joins his fellow heavyweights on the field for some push-ups. At break time, the other kids begin to eat the grass until the drill sergeant instructs them to stop. Clancy finds loophole, though, since nothing was said about eating poison oak. So he gorges on the weed until he passes out in pain.
As Homer is strapped into one of those vibrating belt exercise machines, he cries out that he has a date. So the instructor agrees, saying that Homer's date is with a skinless chicken breast. He laughs maniacally. So the next day, Marge tries to contact her missing date, and we learn the origin of some very important Simpsons lore.
Hello? I'd like to speak to Elvis Jagger Abdul-Jabbar.
Hey, don't you try and prank me with a fake name. I will whip out your intestines and use them to make a lanyard. Hello? Hello? Oh! And that's the origin of that.
That boy I kissed wouldn't even tell me his real name.
Typical. All boys want the same thing. To kiss until they're hot and heavy, then vamoose. Trust us. We know everything about boys, except what they look like below the waist. I have some theories based on a G.I. Joe I bought.
Well, I never want to date a boy again.
Are you leaving camp because of that boy? Because that's what I've been telling everybody. You're also pregnant.
We do the joke of Mo and the prank phone call. Steven breaks the fourth ball and says, you know, that's the origin of that. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's serviceable. I like it. And then Patty and Selma, the line of like, all boys want to do is just kiss you and leave. That's it.
It's probably their experience, and yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking about their knowledge of the male anatomy based on G.I. Joes. And at the time, it's probably very similar to a Ken doll, where it's just like a doll. But if they had lived in the 80s, it'd be very confusing because there'd be a black rubber band down there. And you could like twist the pelvis, and yeah.
Well, don't forget, like, the 80s G.I. Joes are a lot different than the original G.I. Joes because they were like Barbie doll size.
Exactly. So Marge can't stay at camp since everything reminds her of her lost love. And she looks down at her suitcase and sees that her folded clothing make the shape of Homer's face. And she tearfully repacks her bag, eager to put the past behind her.
Been funny if she had like a giant banana too. Like, everything reminds me of Homer. Anyway, so over at the weight loss camp, young Jeff Albertson struggles to do a crunch, declaring that man was not meant to sit up. He passes out and causes one of the workers to call over the radio for 10 cc's. He clarifies that the cc stand for cupcakes, but the person on the other line knows exactly what he's talking about since he's worked there longer than his fellow guard.
That's a fun joke. Homer looks over and sees a truck for Sammy's scale repair about to leave the camp. So seeing his opportunity, he runs towards the truck until he is out of breath. But knowing that love conquers all, he begins to run again until he is once again out of breath. But then a rattlesnake appears behind him, causing Homer to run again, this time reaching the van and hopping in the back.
So Marge drives away from the camp, leaving Patty and Selma alone. Finally, left alone, the twins can enjoy their dream sticks. Well, they take a drag off their smokes. The scale repair truck drives by, knocking Homer out of the back, and Homer asks if they have seen Marge in the only way he knows how.
Have you two longshoremen seen a pretty girl?
If you are who I think you are, that girl is gone, and she never wants to see you again.
She wouldn't do that. We shared something special.
What? Just 'cause she smooched you? Was that special?
No. I just blew my first chance at true love. And now that my special girl has heard the truth, I know she'll forgive me. Earth to special girl, you forgive me, right?
I guess so.
I think we'll go to bed now. What are you doing? If they fight in front of us, we might get new bikes.
Homer, when you nurse a hurt for 30 years, it doesn't go away in an instant.
What about now?
Oh.
So I wonder if that in that clip, because, you know, Patty kissed Homer without consent, which is not cool, but I wonder if that made something awaken in her that she's like, maybe this isn't for me. And that's why, you know, she discovered her love of women.
Oh, yes.
So maybe they should be nicer to Homer because, you know, he helped her discover her own sexuality. Well, Marge heads to the basement to do some laundry, and Homer follows, asking if she's ready to forgive him. And she's not. That night, she walks out to take the trash, and Homer emerges from one of the cans, showing that Marge is very strong, asking, how about now? And then they head to bed, and Homer asks again, but Marge still isn't ready to move on.
So Homer tells his beloved that he's really sorry for hurting her, but adds that he's done way worse things since then, like hiding the gun from her, from the Cartridge family. Again, can't review that one. suing the church in Pray Anything. That doesn't sound familiar, so we probably can read that.
No.
We can't?
No.
Oh, that's from season 10?
It is from season... Actually, it's from season 14.
So we can review it.
I guess so.
Stop lying to us, Steve. And, of course, ruining Lisa's wedding in the future. Of course, from Lisa's wedding. I thought that joke was pretty solid.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah. Marge admits that she shouldn't be so hurt, but a girl only has one first love.
So Marge assumes that the moment didn't matter as much to Homer as it did to her, but Homer disagrees. He thought about that girl every day until he met Marge. And she wants to believe him, but Homer can actually offer some proof. So he grabs his old Beretta lunchbox, featuring the actor and the parrot and, all that fun stuff, which contains all of his old memories, some that he hasn't looked at in 30 years. So he looks through the tin lunchbox. Homer finds a letter from his old pen pal, vowing to write back to his old pal, Osama bin Laden, presumably.
Right.
Not Mankiewicz.
No. Homer then finds what he's looking for, his half of the heart rock. Marge is touched, and Homer did care. Homer explains that he held that item right next to his IBM stock. It's just a stocking, Christmas stocking, says IBM on it. So Marge pulls out her half of the rock from her nightstand, and despite what may have once meant, the rock is now symbolic of their love.
I kept my heart, too.
Because somehow you realized I was a good guy after all?
No, as a reminder of the hurtful things men can do. But now it can have a second meaning. Oh, Elvis.
Oh, anonymous girl who turned out to be Marge.
I love the sound effect of the doo.
That's always funny. Yeah. And so, with the rock back together, and Homer and Marge, they make love, and that's our episode.
Yeah, we don't see the sex, but we can only imagine it. Steve. I say we take a break, come back, and wrap it up.
I'll allow it.
All right, we will be right back. Yes. Please have a seat.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for getting me in there. My brain has been I've been under a lot lately.
Yeah, I just want to start off this session saying that last week I apologize. I did not know that you are the famous clown Pagolachi.
Yeah.
I understand last week you said, you were feeling life seems harsh and cruel and you felt all alone in a threatening world. And I told you to go see a clown. That's you. And you burst into tears. And I apologize. Yeah. And I just realized something. I said to go see a clown. And no offense to your profession.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's got its ups and downs. But yeah.
But a clown is not funny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know what is funny? Two clowns. In fact, I think these clowns that have a Patreon podcast called The Annoyed Grunt Boys. That's right, patreon.com/annoyedgruntboys. Well, I find them to be hilarious. In fact, this last week they reviewed the hilarious Shane Black movie Iron Man 3, starring Adam Pally, Jenna Ortega, Dale Dickey, and Death himself from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, William Sadler.
Wow.
Do you want to know how funny they are? Just listen to some of these jokes and let me know what you think.
Okay. And evidently in the Avengers, there was like a big traumatic event that gave him PTSD.
Yeah, Joss Whedon was the director and writer. Okay, you're laughing a little bit. I'm going to keep going here. Listen to this one.
When Superman moved into the neighborhood and Batman was like, what the hell?
Yeah, Superman moved into my predominantly Hispanic neighborhood recently, and now he's working for ICE.
Truth, justice, and the American way.
She's poo-pooing his PTSD. What do you think?
You see Pepper Potts is poo-pooing his PTSD?
Shower sex. Oh, yeah. Shower sex is difficult. Wet sex isn't good.
Those are two very different statements, but shower sex is difficult, yes.
You're almost there. Almost there. One more joke.
Jarvis, and he has Pepper, and he has Happy. But he doesn't have any people with normal names.
No. Would you pay $5 a month for that kind of banter?
Absolutely.
So you're cured. I did it. I'm the greatest psychologist of all time. Psychiatrist, whatever I am.
Yeah, now I don't need to pay you any money.
Yeah, it's real cheaper to get this podcast rather than seeking professional help.
It's the cure for what ails you.
All right, so go to patreon.com/annoyedgruntboys and sign up today.
It'll make you laugh.
All right, now get out of here. All right, we're back. Let's finish up this week's episode the way we weren't. We'll talk about some of our favorite scenes, maybe a favorite joke or jokes, MVJ, most valuable jokester. We'll give it a review, find out what we're watching next week. But before all of that, we'd like to find something from this episode that can be turned into a physical item and gifted to our co-host. And then our co-host can consume or use those items as directed. So, Steve, for you.
Yes?
Before we continue this, I think you need some 10 cc's. That means 10 cupcakes. Also, you're going to have to make out with some people, so you got to spin the bottle. So first I'm going to drink the beer.
Thank you.
And then give you the empty bottle so you can spin the bottle. Can you come closer, Steve? I also know that you haven't been to the doctor lately, so I need to give you your cootie shot. Oh!
We may not have the best healthcare system, but it's something.
Would you like also a Hertz donut?
Ooh, after all those cupcakes, I would love that.
Well, go to the Hertz Rent-A-Car and ask if they have donuts.
That's very nice, Craig.
I am not done yet. I was just at your house recently, and I noticed that your scale didn't work, so here's a gift card from Sammy Scale Repair, so they can come over and fix that scale. Do you want an eye patch?
I mean, I already have one. This is a gift to you, but...
I'll take them too, because a pirate with 2 eye patches is even scarier than a pirate with 1 eye patch.
That's true. I also got you, you're a parent, and for other reasons, I got you the book 101 Spank Alternatives. And I was going to get you 16 slices of pie, but you're already so sweet already. So I won't do that.
Yum.
So I got you an olive fork that you can stab in your hand. Or Helen's hand if you want, if she's being a real, you know what she is.
See you next Tuesday.
Exactly. And I got you a boat. So when you're on the river, you can make your own choice of row versus way.
I think it's up to government officials to decide if I should row or wade.
Yeah, of course, because why should you have autonomy over your own body? Not a political podcast.
Steve, what made you laugh in this episode?
Oh boy, there's plenty to laugh about. I really liked the aforementioned Roe v. Wade joke. I thought the sea captain was a lot of fun in this, both appearing younger and more dashing on the boat, but also just grabbing his teddygrams on his way out. And then, Homer reflecting about how good their friendship is. In the opening with Milhouse, complaining about labor. And then also when Homer kissed him. Very fun. We talked about the going on recess joke, and, we like that. But if I had to give a most valuable jokester, I think it's going to be low-key Marge. Her telling her story and assuming that it'd be interesting when it's not actually. And then her musical taste also made me laugh. So yeah, those are what I liked. What about you, Craig?
I have to maybe give my MVJ to someone who's not really in the story, but has some great lines. And that, of course, is Bart.
Yeah.
With him making Ralph and Milhouse rake leaves, obviously because that's probably his chores, and then giving them cootie shots. Very funny. I like when Bart's annoyed because he's hearing the story twice and then makes the doggy do joke, or laughs at Lisa for that joke. I like that when he's at the fat camp, if I'm allowed to call it that. It's just like the only way to escape is at that slightly inclined hill. And you see it, and it's just slightly inclined. And Mo, of course, I think Mo was great. Of course, learning the origin of the phone calls. And you're right, Sea Captain as a fun little cameo. Just getting his teddygrams. It really makes me want teddygrams. I wish someone would have got teddygrams for me.
Oh, yeah. I also wish somebody would have got teddygrams for me.
Quick side note. I remember, as a kid, I would take teddygrams and then put them in a bowl and milk. And this should be a cereal. And then they came out with cereal. I'm like, and it was different. I'm like, why don't you just teddygrams? They're a cereal. Anyways, teddygrams great. Do they still make teddygrams?
I think they do, yeah. I think they had them in a limited run, and then they came back full-time.
We got full-time jobs for being in my mouth. I love it. But Steve, all in all, what did you think of this episode?
Craig, I thought that this was a really fun, well-crafted episode. I think that I was probably very angry at it when it came out for retconning things, but it really didn't change anything. I think that Homer and Marge are still together, and, their time is, their timeless. And, putting them squarely in the 70s at the time makes sense. I really like the Simpsons court and that concept. I think there was emotional attachment to this episode, and I think, we're in dumb Homer era, and I think he is wonderfully dumb in this. And I really like the dynamic between Lenny and Carl and them. So yeah, all in all, this was a fun episode. And I also really enjoyed the hallucinations that they had, or the fantasy worlds that they went to when they kissed. And so that leads me to my numerical rating, if I had to give one, which I do. We talked about Screaming Yellow Zonkers, which I used to be a big fan of when I could get them. They're no longer available, but they debuted in 1968. So out of the years, I'm going to give this a 1963. What about you, Craig?
Yes. 1963. The year Michael Jordan or Johnny Depp, Brad Pitt, Whitney Houston, John Stamos, James Hetfield, Lisa Kudrow, Rob Schneider,
wow,
George Michael, Conan O'Brien, Mike Myers. I'm just off the top of my head thinking of all those people born in 63.
Mm-hmm.
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Wow.
Jason Isaacs, Edie Falco, Vanessa Williams, Quentin Tarantino, Charles Barkley, Helen Hunt, Larry the Cable Guy, Ming-Na Wen, Seal,
wow,
John Michael Higgins, Mark Strong, Dermot Mulroney, Phoebe Cates, Benjamin Bratt, Lisa Ren. Do you want me to stop?
I just can't believe that all those people are the same age. Like, it doesn't seem right.
Dean Norris, Jennifer Beals. Yeah.
That, like, Michael Jordan and Dean Norris are the same age. Or Johnny Depp, too.
Also, like, Ming-Na Wen, who, like,
yeah,
doesn't age.
Right.
Yeah, so this episode, I agree with you that at the time when this came out, Simpsons fans, we didn't like this canon, like, all of a sudden, now we're going back in time. But I think that, of, like, not actually saying the time period, because it is kind of timeless. And they make the joke of Homer saying, like, I don't know, the 50s or 60s or 70s, I don't know. But when you do these kind of stories, there's not a lot of, like, emotional stake with this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's all of a sudden, this happened. It is silly for, like, hardcore nerds. I bet this is an episode that hardcore nerds don't like. But, you're right. I had fun with it. And there were some fun jokes. Some, like, weird jokes, like Homer referring to Carl by the color of her skin.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. I think it's hard because a lot of the older episodes, even though we're not allowed to watch, but, like, Lisa's first word is such a iconic episode for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because when you were going back to the past in the 80s, I think because that time period, it did make sense. And of course, the episode where, in high school is The Way We Were,
mm-hmm.
obviously the most famous of the past episodes. So, yeah, I think this one doesn't really hurt with screwing with fan nerd timelines. So maybe the nerds like this one more than I'm giving them not credit for. I think it's more of like the when it is obvious pop culture references,
mm-hmm.
like with Sadgasm, like that 90s show. This one, they're not really referencing anything to culture. I mean, he does say his name is Elvis Jagger Abdul-Jabbar.
Right.
But I think those names are so famous that, maybe I think it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that basically just makes them after, like, 1969, because that's when Kareem started playing.
Right. But that being said, I agree this episode, it's fine. I don't say skip it. If it's on, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
If I had to give it a ranking, of course, the Turtles' Happy Together, which was released in 1967, so... but there's a line in that I think is funny, that in the second verse it says, if I should call you up, invest a dime. Kids might not understand what that means. He's talking about, like, going to a payphone and putting a dime into the payphone and calling up someone, because you had to use a payphone to call people
right
at back in the day. So payphones aren't much a thing anymore. So I asked the internet, if they are, what is the going rate of a payphone right now? And as of now, if there is a payphone, you're going to make a local call for 50 cents.
Wow.
So really the lyric should be, if I should call you up, invest a 50 cent. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Unless it was in the club.
Right. At the candy shop.
50 cent. Yes. So if I gave this out of 50 cents, I'm going to give this episode, let's give it a nice 37 cents.
Nice. In a row.
Sure.
You know what else I like about the song? They ask about the weather, and I think that's nice. And like the second stanza, it's like, how is the weather? And it's like, oh, that's nice.
It's a fun song. It's one of those songs that I think can just bring you joy just listening to it.
Yeah.
If you're having a bad day, happy together. And I'm happy that we're together
Aww.
next week. Yes. But sadly, Wheel of Random is still on vacation. I forgot we didn't mention this while we were doing Bart Summers, because Wheel of Random has accumulated so much vacation time. So Wheel of Random is using their vacation time this whole summer. So we've had to, do this bit together. So they're still on their summer vacation, Wheel of Random.
Good for them.
Good for them, yeah. I thought because we talked about last week and this week, we mentioned how you thought there's the internet joke of the swim trunks, and I thought we reviewed it, but we didn't. And why don't we just continue a little summer of the past of Homer when flashback episode. So let's do that episode, Steve.
I like it.
Let's go all the way back to season 13, episode 5. I believe that's what it's called. So this is an episode that aired before this episode. So it'll be kind of interesting to see maybe the canon differentiates, especially with like Mo, like in his age. So we did talk about it. What do you think the Blunder Years is about?
Well, I think that Homer remembers his time back when his father, played by guest star Dan Laurie, was they had a falling out because of him being emotionally unavailable. So Homer runs away and starts a new life as Homer Simpson with Abe, and he starts a whole new life, and it's that experience. And in the B story, Lisa takes up mahjong, and we see another episode with Cookie Kwan because she's adept at it. But when Lisa beats her, Cookie Kwan needs to reevaluate the important things in her life. Is it real estate? Is it mahjong? What really matters to Cookie Kwan?
Oh, beat her at mahjong, or like physically beats her?
A little bit of both, actually.
Oh,
it's amazing what Lisa can do with tiles.
Lisa with a hate crime. I like it.
Like Marky Mark.
And the rest. All right, Steve. Let's go ahead and watch that episode, but not right now. Next week.
All right.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, go ahead and contact us through email at 13simpsons@gmail.com, or you can check out our socials like Instagram or Threads at 13simpsons, or of course YouTube at 13simpsons.
And hey, go to patreon.com/AnnoyedGruntBoys and sign up. It's just $5 a month. You get a bonus episode every week. We're covering all kinds of things. We're talking movies. We're talking other shows. The possibilities are limitless. And if you want to hear more of our voices, that's the best way to do it.
Except for Limitless. We probably won't watch Limitless.
Give me that pill. Yeah, probably not.
Movie or TV show. Or the Chris Hemsworth documentary series on Disney Plus. Anyways, yeah, go ahead and go to tpublic.com/user/AnnoyedGruntBoys for some Annoyed Grunt Boy swag.
Yes, and thank you so much for listening.
That's right. For this week, I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
And I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
And remember, I'd be proud if you grew up to be my husband's mistress.
You make Jackie O look like a splay-legged milk horse.
That's not what dogs do. You said dog do.